Let's go.
Um, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to open up tonight's speech with a quote from former NFL linebacker David Thornton on the retirement of head coach Tony Dungy. He says, and I quote, "I know he has visions and aspirations of continuing to go out and using the platform that God has blessed him with to bless the lives of many." Often when we think about professions that God has called upon our lives to spread his word and instill values in people, we often think about professions such as teachers, pastors, missionaries, and even doctors and nurses that are directly involved in people's lives and helping them get better and helping their faith evolve. Tonight, I'd like to inform you that coaching is a platform to promote something that God values by discussing leadership, love, and discipline. God deeply values leadership. One of my favorite coaches in history, and one of I feel like the best coaches in history, was Jesus Christ himself. You might think to yourself, Jesus Christ wasn't a coach, but he was one of the original coaches and one of the best coaches, and his team was the disciples, or others that came to follow him or hear him speak. Jesus Christ was definitely a leader. He showed people that, the way God wants us to live and to walk in his path and, follow the things that God had personally taught him. Another aspect of leadership is God has called us to be leaders amongst our peers and amongst others. 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 2 through 4 says, "Be shepherds of God's flock that is under your care, watching over them, not because you must, but because you are willing, as God wants you to be, not pursuing dishonest gain, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock." That directly tells you, that you're supposed to be examples and leaders to whoever God has put under your control. And being a coach, you have people already put under your control that you have to be leaders of and should lead them by example. Also, coaches show love and compassion, just like God shows love and compassion for us. Coach-athlete relationships often require love, and whether it's between the coach and the athlete or the athlete and the coach, they definitely have a relationship of love, and coaches, most of the time love their athletes and have a very direct relationship with them. Also, teams go through a lot of adversity and problems, whether it be within themselves or losing, a tough game or whatever it is. The coach's job is to always be there and be compassionate for the team, just like God's job is to always be there and be compassionate for us. And whenever we're going through problems, God's always there, and He's compassionate towards us, and He's a person that we get to lean on. And last is one of the key components to coaching is which is discipline and integrity. God shows shows an example of discipline by the Ten Commandments. He gave Moses the Ten Commandments, which was a law, which him and the church were supposed to abide by the law, and that's a direct example of discipline. As a coach, you're gonna have athletes under you that you're gonna have to discipline and instill discipline in them, which is definitely something that God strongly values. Also, the definition of integrity is defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. Christians should always adhere by, integrity, whether it's competing or coaching or, just living your lives. Just the definition of integrity pretty much defines us as Christians, which is, being honest and always having strong moral principles and letting that be a light to others. So, in conclusion tonight, I hope you gain from this, and that coaching is definitely a platform that God uses for us to that coaching is something that God uses as a platform to instill values in our lives. Thank you.